Hello, welcome to SwitchedOn, Paul speaking, and today going to be looking at a new release that's come out oddly on a Saturday. And I know it feels like, well, it certainly feels like at least a Sunday, but it could be any day of the week, can't it, at the moment with the lockdown, and everything's just so weird at the moment. But yeah, oddly enough, it's a Saturday release, and this is Tharsis, which is a PC game. It's been out for a little while on the PC and the PlayStation 4, but comes to the Switch today. Oh, it's also out on iOS as well. Been out there for a few years, so I thought I really like this game. I've had it for a little while on the PC and was really happy to see it come to the Switch. So I thought I'd give you a quick run through what it's all about. So we're going to start a new game. This is basically a kind of a, well, it's certainly got a board game feel to it. I'm going to go on easy mode because this is an incredibly hard game. Yeah, so it's basically a dice rolling game, and you're on a ship, the Iconis. Which is on its way to Mars to investigate a strange occurrence. And you basically need to keep the ship alive and the crew alive to reach the red planet. And events keep cropping up on your ship. Already we've got a bad ship, with bad event. We've got someone ejected into space. And someone's fatally injured or crucially injured. Right. So here's your ship, the Iconis. There's a lot going on the screen, so I'll try and explain a few things as I go through it. But basically, you need to go to these events with the red triangles, mainly, and solve the event by rolling the number that's in the triangle there. So you see the control foul needs 13 to clear that, and the meteoroid strike needs 11 to clear that. We've also got these other modules that you can visit. They're all different things. This module here will get you food. This one regains you dice, I believe. This one helps cure your crew. All that kind of good stuff. So you can visit these at any time, but basically it's a game of resource management, really. You haven't got enough resources to do everything that you need to do on the turn, so you have to prioritise what you need to do. Top left-hand corner, you've got the hull strength. If that goes, your game is over. You can see they've got two red lines underneath the current hull strength of 3, which means that at the end of this turn, if we don't solve the issues that have cropped up, we'll lose 2 off that hull. And so when it gets down to 0, your ship will explode. Top middle, we've got the weeks to Mars. So you've basically got 10 turns, 10 weeks until Mars. Each turn is a week. And there's little triangles, if you notice on there, are what events are occurring. Green events are easy, yellow are medium, red are hard. So you get a little indication of what's coming up. At the moment, we've got 2 green triangles, so 2 easy events. And then in the next week, we've got an easy event and a medium event, so you can kind of plan ahead. 4 astronauts we've got dotted around. They've each got their own ability. And you see the white squares at the bottom, well, white cubes. That's how many dice that they can roll on each turn. Each turn, they will lose 1 dice, but you can replenish them. So again, you need to look at the numbers in the triangles on the events and probably send astronauts with more dice available to the bigger numbers. It just makes sense. More than one astronaut can also visit a module to help, so you can sort of that control foul 13 there, we can sort of roll 6 off that and then send another astronaut to finish it off. Down the right hand side of each astronaut's heads up display, you've got their health. On the left hand side, you've got their stress level. When the stress level goes up, it changes the mid-turn event, which you'll see shortly. And then the bottom is their name, or their skill, but rather their class. So we've got a specialist, a doctor, a captain, and a mechanic at the moment. And we can also get more characters unlocked as the game goes on. So let's get into a turn. You can see what it's all about. We're going to visit this control foul. The little red square in the triangle just above the words control foul means that if we don't clear this event, then we're going to lose 1 of the hull points, which is, as I said, shown in the top left-hand corner. The other one being the meteoroid strike here. That's also got 1 red line, which means that we would also lose 1 hull from that event. So 2 in total at the end of this turn if we don't clear these events. So we're going to go to this first one here. We're going to use the specialist as she's already there. There are rules about moving to other events. If you pass through an event that hasn't been solved to another part of the ship, you will take damage. So while Alison Silva, the specialist, is here in this module, we might as well get her to complete it. She's got 2 dice. So she's not going to be able to get the 13 points required with the best will in the world. Even if she rolls 2 6s, she's only going to get a maximum of 12. So we may need to either use an ability or to get someone else to come and finish that job off. So on this panel we've zoomed in, top of the screen we can see how many points we need to repair this module. We need 13 points, and if we roll a 4 we'll take an injury. If we roll a 3 that dice will go into stasis, which means it can't be re-rolled. Although if you look in the top right we've got an assist value up there. You get 3 assists and they refill 1 each turn. The assists will mitigate those dice statuses. So if we do roll a 4, which normally would take an injury, instead we'd lose an assist and would take no effect, but obviously we'd have no assists left for the rest of the turn. Each class has also got its own ability. You can see that on the left hand side. The class for the specialist here is to add a 1 reroll to the usual 2 allowed, so she can reroll 3 times. And on the right hand side this module has its own ability. So the module in flight control, it says prevents injury to any crew when moving through modules with events, lasts 1 turn. To get that ability we need to put a dice in that square there, which is 5 or above. That's what the 5 and the up arrow means. We're going to roll some dice, so we hold down ZR and roll the 2 dice that the specialist has got available, and that is not a good start. So 1 and a 2. Neither of those are going to get us anywhere near to the 13 we need. Now we can store these dice. You can either put them in the hold at the bottom, which means that you can store a dice while you re-roll the others, or we can use them in the research projects. Now there's spaces there for 1 to 6 for each face of the dice. Each dice we put in there, or each die we put in there, gives us a point, and then we can spend those points. You can see there we've got projects for health kits at 3 points, repair arm, which gives us 3 to our hull at 5 points, and disaster reduce at 6 points, which automatically repairs any disaster that you're in. But you need all 6 die in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the... What should I do? We can just re-roll actually. Let's re-roll that terrible first roll. 5 and a 4 is a little bit more like it. So you can see there we got a 4, which would normally be an injury, but you see the assist sort of pop up, and we've lost our assist point now. You look at the top, but we didn't take an injury. So that's a total of 9. It would get us some way to repairing. Or we could spend this 5 to reduce the movement point, which means that we can get our other guys to come and help us without taking any damage. That might be worthwhile. Or we can put some of the die into the research project. So you can see already, even though it's dice based, which means it's quite random, you also get a lot of choices to do on your turn. Or we can just basically plough these numbers into repairing the ship and getting that 13 down. It would give us 9. It would leave 4 for somebody else to come in and repair. I'm going to put the 5, spend it in the module there to earn the no movement damage buff, and I'm going to put the 4 into the repair. So Alison now has used both her dice. She doesn't get to roll anymore. We just hold down ZL to finish her deployment now, and we're down to 9 points remaining, but we can now move any of our astronauts throughout the ship without taking any damage. So you can see here the mechanic, the yellow mechanic on the right hand side, Pascal Laverin, has got 4 die available, so he can roll a big number. The doctor here has got 3, so I think I'm going to send the doctor over to the control module here and see if he can finish off that 9. We're just going to roll his 3 die. You see the doctor's special ability on the left there is if he rolls a 5 or she rolls a 5 or above, Kayla Jones, she gets +1 health to all crew that are currently in that module, and the specialist, remember, is still there. So good roll here. We've got 6, a 5 and a 4. We only need 9, so we can spend the 5 and the 4 to repair the ship or repair the module, and we can still use our dice. We're going to spend this 6 in the doctor's special ability to give +1 health to the 2 crew members that are here, and then that will sort that out. So that's that module cleared. So we've only got this meteoroid strike to deal with. We're going to move Pascal Laverin over, as he's got 4 die available. He may be able to do this on his turn. Not with a roll like that. So you can see die number 1 went into stasis. I don't know if you can see that on the video. It's got all like little lightning bolts around it. It means it can't be re-rolled. We can re-roll the rest of the dice, but that's kind of stuck on a 1, which is a bit of a shame. We can still use it, but we can't re-roll it. We've got this ability on the right hand side in the life support module to regain dice. Now if we put dice there, we need them both to be the same, and for each die we put in there we earn 2 dice back. So again we've got options. I think as this one can't be used, we're going to put it, or it can't be re-rolled, sorry, we're going to put it over here in the regain dice. We earn 2 dice back for the mechanic. He can't get any more, but we can leave that one there, that's fine. The 4 is okay, but I think we're going to put that in the hold, and we're going to re-roll those 2 2s. See if we can do better than 2 2s, and we get 2 2s, because of course we do. So, not great. We're going to have to spend all of these in repairing the ship. But we're still going to be left short. Oh, there we go. So, we still got 3 points of damage to fix there. We're going to finish the deployment of the mechanic. And hopefully, Jean Alou can use his 1 die. He needs to get a 3 or above. He's only got 1 die available. And he's going to get a 3, so that's going to repair that. So basically, we've cleared both events for this turn, which is good news. And the first turn is usually a little bit easier. We now take any impending damage, but as we fix that, we don't take any. And now we get a short cutscene.
But if I can't lead them, we're all dead. I need to get it together.
You get these short little bits of flavour between each event. So this is the sort of between turn events. And you see we get an assist back at the top. You may have noticed we've got a food bar at the top. We've got 1 die in there. Basically, you can spend that food to get crew members their dice back. But first of all, we get this event. So you get to choose an event. And depending on the stress level of the crew, which remember was the bar on the left-hand side of their player cards, you can still see that at the bottom of the screen. The higher that bar, the more treacherous these events are. So it's not too bad at the moment. So we've got 2 to choose from. We've got this one here, which gives 1 die for those 2 characters, but takes 2 off the whole, which is not ideal. And these 2 medics, or these 2 astronauts are saying basically need to work together, gets us +1 food, but they both lose 1 health. But I think that's going to be the lesser of the evils, because we get to get a food unit back. You can see in the top corner there. I really like how this works. It sort of gives you an indication of what's going to happen before it happens, so you can kind of see very clearly what's going to happen. We're going to get 1 food added to the bar at the top, and the 2 astronauts in the bottom left hand corner are going to lose 1 health. So we're going to take that event. It does get pretty dark when you run out of food and the stress levels go up. I'm just going to mention cannibalism and leave it there. We may well get to that. So I've got 2 units of food. Each unit of food that I give to an astronaut regains them 3 die. So I think I'm going to give 1 to Alison Silva, 1 to Jean Alou. He's the captain. And that's it. So that's the event taken. Now we get the new incoming events. Remember there was 2 events, a medium and a hard event. And if we look at the kind of timeline at the top, the next week's event is a hard event and an easy event. So again, we're doing all right. Still got 4 astronauts, and these 2 events should be fairly easy to clear. We're going to take the mechanic. If you notice, sorry, both of these events are both going to do 2 damage to the hull, which will kill us. So we definitely need to clear at least 1 event, hopefully both. So we're going to take the mechanic, and we're going to stick him in one of these. Doesn't really matter which, to be honest. Probably in this one, as it's the bigger number. So he's in the life support. And I'm going to roll his 5. How many was it? 5 die? Yeah, huge numbers. Look at that. So we should be able to clear this. What we've got 6, 12, 18, 23, 25. Not a problem. So we can probably do some special abilities here. We've got a medical bay. Restore the active crew member's health to full. That would be really nice to do. We need a 5 or above for that. So we'll stick a 5 in there. The mechanic can add 1 to the hull as his special ability. You can see that on the left hand side if we roll a 5 or above. I'm going to have to be careful here, because if we put a 6 in there, we're only going to be left with 14. What I'm going to do is put all of these 6s in a hold, and we're going to re-roll that 2 to hopefully get at least a 3. It's not going to happen, is it? So that's a shame. We can still clear this event, no problem. but it would be nice to get that +1 to the hull. I'm just thinking if we can just take the damage down to, what would it be, 6 to a 4, down to 1, and let somebody else come and fix it, which would be good just to get. I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the 6 into the mechanic special ability to get 1 back for the hull. And I'm just going to spend the rest of these die on the repairing. So it doesn't get the job done, even though it's a really good roll. We've also got 1 to the hull and recovered Pascal's health, which has been a good turn. And as I say, we can just send somebody else in there now to finish it off. We can send Jean Alou just to finish that repair off. He only needs a 1. He's got 4 die. Probably would have been smarter to look for somebody else that has only got 1 die. But never mind. Right, so again, really good roll. We only need a 1 to do that. We can put the 6 here into the captain special ability, which gives +1 die to every crew in the module. And we've got Jean Alou here, and Pascal was still in here, wasn't he? So we'll do that. We're going to put the 3 into the research projects, the 6 into the research project. So we've got 2 points to spend now, and then the 1 die to complete that event. And again, good turn. That clears that event. So now we've got 2 options here. We've got 2 chances here to clear the CTC damaged event. And we've got Alison and Kayla that can do that. So we're going to send a specialist, Kayla, to that module. She's got 4 die. She only needs to get an 8. So hopefully we can do it in just her turn. Okay, we've got 2 die going into stasis there. The 2 and the 3. Which we may well use. Actually, we can use that. We can put the 3 in the hull repair. You see here, we need 3 die, and the equal sign means they all need to be the same value to go into that box. So we put the 3 in, which means the others need to go in there. Now this event, or this special ability in this module, to repair the hull, you see we need 3 die in there. The first die that we put in, that first 3, does nothing. The next die we put in, which also has to be a 3, will repair us 2 points to the hull. And then if we manage to put a third 3 in there, we'd get another point. So we're going to put the other 3 in there. Gets us 2 points of our hull back, which is really nice. You can see now, top left hand corner, that hull bar is nearly full. We only need an 8 to complete this module. So we could put the 6 and the 2 in. I think what we're going to do is going to take a risk. As we're doing okay, we're going to use this 2 in the research projects to get another point. And as we had another astronaut left, Kayla Jones, we're going to send her across to finish this event off. She's got 2 die. Getting the 2 will not be a problem, hopefully, unless she rolls a 2 and a 3. But there we go, 4 and a 5, perfect. Also perfect is that we can use that 5 in Kayla's special ability box on the left to give 1 health to all the crew in the module. And as we've got Kayla and Alison in here still, they will both get 1 health. We can use the 4 in the repair to complete the event. And that was a really successful turn. No damage taken. Health.
I let my fear get the
Let's
best
just
of
listen
me,
to this event.
but the others have proven me wrong. I'm proud of how the crew has come together. I think we might actually have a chance.
So as I was saying, we got extra health on our astronauts, extra die. So it's a really, really good roll. A really good turn, sorry. So we've got this 2 events, and the stress is still fairly low, so they shouldn't be too bad. We've got this +1 food, but -1 health for those 2 astronauts, the yellow and the green, Pascal and Jean. And this other event gives -30% stress for all crew, but also lose 1 on the hull. But that might be worth doing. I don't know. The hull points are like gold dust, really. That is literally your lifeblood. So is it worth, even though we managed to pump them up a bit in that last time, is it worth risking losing a hull? But then it does reduce the stress for everybody, which might keep our in-between turns. It might keep our in-between turns good. I think we're going to go with the +1 food, actually. Because Kayla really needs some dice. We're going to do this to get Kayla the dice. Even though it means everybody taking a bit of damage. So, next turn, new events. It's also a good idea, I guess, to finish with your astronauts kind of spread out throughout the ship. Because they kind of get... You see here, if I wanted to get somebody to the food bay, the second bay from the left there, where there's the WMS damaged event, they can't pass through. None of those astronauts can pass through the meteoroid strike module in the middle without taking damage. But you can see if somebody was in the control module on the far left there, it would be easy for them just to step into that second module. So that's something to consider. So have a look at the map. We've got 2 medium events coming up in the next week. We've got 8 weeks left to Mars. Hope you're enjoying this game so far. I really, really like this game. I'm a big board game fan. If you've been around the channel, you'll know that. I love a dice rolling game as well. So this is really perfect for the Switch. It's really good. Runs really nicely. Obviously on the PC, you've got a cursor and mouse, and you sort of drag the dice around, which I feel is a little bit nicer than just sort of clicking and warping around different areas to put your dice. But you get used to it pretty quickly. So let's play out this event and see how it goes. So 23 points to clear the meteoroid strike. So all of these astronauts got decent dice, but the mechanic is the one I want to send because he's got 5 dice available. Let's get them rolled. We need 23. You can see to help at the top, you'll see the number of the total number of the die that are added up. He's got 15 here, so you don't have to sort of go through and count them up. So 15 isn't the best roll. I could probably re-roll some of those. You get 1 re-roll unless it's the specialist. I think gets an extra re-roll. I'm going to put the 1 in the research projects. So you see we've got 4 points worth down there now. So we can use the health kits ability, which gives 1 health to all the crew. But I'm probably just going to keep adding them up for now. We have got another 1 which I definitely want to re-roll. I'm going to put the 5s in the dice hold and just re-roll the 3 and the 1. Oh, I thought that 6 was going to stay on a 3. That's okay. That's not too bad, is it? We've got 10, 19. We could put them in the life support module to replenish dice, but then he's already got 2. We could put 1 in the mechanic class to get another +1 to the hull. I think we might do that actually. So let's put the 3 into the repair, the 6 into the repair, 1 of the 5s into the repair, but let's put this last 5 into the mechanic special ability to get +1 to the hull and keep that hull strong. Because we've got plenty of options, we can send Jean across. As Alison's only got 3 die and she gets an extra reroll, I'm going to send her to the finish off this repair and keep the other guys that have got more die for the bigger event. She's rolled a 10. Now, we're good for her to get some dice back. So the life support module there, I'm going to put a die in now. Not sure which one yet. Probably the... Makes sense to put the 2 in there, doesn't it? As it's in stasis as well. The 5 we'll put on her module. I nearly accidentally clicked into class then. One of the little annoyances in this game is there isn't an undo, which kind of feels vital, but it's a small one. Now she has got 2 rerolls. Let's keep rerolling this 3. Oh, it can't come in because it's in stasis. Damn. That changes things because she's kind of got to use it, which means that we need a 3rd astronaut to come and fix that, which I didn't really want to do. Okay. Well, it's going to do us 2 points of hull damage. We really need to get it fixed. I'm just thinking about using Kayla's special ability. Her special ability is to get +1 health to crew in the module. And as we've got 2 already in the same module and she would be a 3, it could be a good advantage to top everybody's health up. I can't send Jean across to the WMS damaged event because he'll take a point of damage going through the meteoroid strike. So I'm going to take Kayla, the doctor. We're going to send her to do the meteoroid strike event to finish this off and hopefully roll a 5 to give everybody some more health by using her special ability. Shouldn't be a problem. Indeed it isn't. So the stasis we can just use to repair the module and complete that event. We shall put a 5 into the research projects because that needs a 5. 6 can go into her special ability to give everybody in this module 1 point of health back. And I'm going to re-roll that last die and hopefully get a 4, which we don't get, but that's fine. 4 or 2 would have been nice just to use them either in the research project or in the life support module. But that's fine. That's a decent enough turn. We've got +1 health to 3 crew members and we've completed the event, and we've also put another point in our research projects. We can't do anything with it, that's the thing, so we will just ignore that warning that we've got an unused die. So that leaves the way free for Jean Alou to get to this WMS damaged. He's got 4 die to get 11 points. Rolls a 4 is going to get an injury. We've got no assists, so he definitely will take a point of damage for every 4 he rolls. The greenhouse module here, we can gain food by putting in die into that right hand side there. You see the first die we put in there gets no food. The second die will get us 1 point of food. The third die will get us another 1 point of food. So a few options here. Let's roll the dice, see what we get. We take a point of damage, which isn't ideal, but we've rolled 11, which is a good start. So we know we can definitely complete this event. So now it's about what else we can do. So we can put a 5 or above into the captain's class to get 1 die for everyone in this module. As it's only Jean in here, it would only just be him affected. I really, really want to get some food. That's the main thing. What I might risk doing is clearing the event with the 6 and the 5. See, it's a little bit clunky without a cursor. It's a little bit clunky to pick the dice sometimes. Now I've got a re-roll remaining, so I may take a punt, re-roll these 2, hopefully get 2 of the same number. Don't care what they are. We didn't do that. So we'll stick the 1 in now, and we're just going to use the 5 to get an extra die back. I think that's a decent enough use of that turn. We're not going to take any damage.
I've checked our food stores, and it looks grim. We lost more than half our supplies with the module. If we don't find some creative solutions, we'll starve before we ever reach Mars.
So our hull's looking good. We've got, what was it, 2 medium events, I think. So let's have a look what options we've got here. So we've got +1 food or +1 food and -1 dice for all crew. Don't really want to do that. Or the other option is +1 health and -1 dice for those 2 alone. Remember, we can use food to replenish dice, so we could do that and then give Kayla the dice back. Or we can just let Jean and Pacquiao go down to 3 dice each, but get 1 health for everybody. To be fair, only 2 members need health, so that could be a bit of an inefficient use of the turn. We're going to go for +1 food and lose 1 dice for all crew, which isn't ideal. You see, we now get the choice of cannibalism at the bottom. We've got the crew member that died at the start, just before this game took hold. And we can actually carve a bit of her off and eat her, which means the person that does that will lose 1 of their maximum health, so they won't be able to refill their entire health bar, but they will get 2 dice. And it's quite funny, because when they're dice and they change to like bloody cubes instead of normal dice, which is a nice little touch. I'm going to use the 1 bit of food we got. I'm going to give that to Kayla to restock her die. I'm not going to resort to cannibalism just yet. So let's see what these 2 medium events are. So 2 14s. Pretty tricky. The next week's event is an easy and a hard event. But we're doing okay. So what I may well do is finish this video. I think you've seen enough of the gameplay to get a good idea of what it's like. I don't want it to drag on for hours and hours. And we're about, well, what are we, 4 weeks into the event. I may do a second part. I'm probably going to keep filming, do a second part. And if you do want to watch that, then you're welcome to carry on watching it. But for now, I think I'll wrap this one up. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you like what you've seen of Tharsis. This is out today, which is Saturday the 11th of April. Easter Saturday, if such a thing exists. It's got a good deal at the moment. It's from Cubic Games. Let's get a price, because it has got a 20% discount at the moment. But if you own any of Cubic Games' other games, then you can get a 33% discount. So in the UK, it's £10.79 normally, down to £8.09 at the moment. But as I say, if you do own any of Cubic Games' other games, you'll get 33% off, which will obviously knock a little bit more off the £8.09, taking it down to sort of high 6s, low 7s, won't it? So check the eShop to see if you own any of those qualifying games from Cubic. But until then, hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop me a thumbs up and a comment below if you like the look of this one. Please subscribe if you're new. Always welcome to add more subscribers to the channel. And until then, I will see you either on the next video or on the second part of Tharsis. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.